Every railfan is familiar with CSX's Pride and Service trio, with engines 1776, 911, and 3194. Yet what many aren't aware of are the cancelled units in the series. Alongside the armed forces, first responders, and law enforcement units, designer Tyler Harden had also created designs for a unit dedicated to the EMS responders, as well as a unit dedicated to the American Red Cross Association. I'm railfan Micah Turner, and in today's episode of the Coalfield Chronicles, we are diving into the scrapped units of CSX's Pride and Service series. For each episode surrounding the Pride and Service series, I had the pleasure of speaking with their designer, Mr. Tyler Harden. With a massive thanks to him, I am able to bring you all an inside look as to how these units came to life, as well as a behind-the-scenes look of the ones we hadn't seen. 2019 was a fantastic year for CSX railfans, as their Pride and Service series had produced 3 specially painted units: CSX 1776, dedicated to the armed forces, CSX 911, dedicated to our first responders, and CSX 3194, dedicated to our law enforcement. Harden detailed the design process of each of these units well, as seen in past episodes of the Coalfield Chronicles. If you have not seen them yet, be sure to check them out after watching this video. Yet amidst their production, Harden also entailed the story behind the cancellation of the series amidst plans and designs to carry it forwards. Most railfans are unaware of the plans to continue the Pride and Service series before its cancellation. As mentioned in previous episodes, the series was not yet planned as a whole. Instead, each unit was designed and painted one at a time, with hopes from Harden that they could do more. Following 3194's completion, Harden went to work on the next units in the project. The 4th unit in the Pride and Service series had been designed in dedication to those in the field of EMS. Harden told of how, following the success of the 1776 and 911, on the evening of their unveiling, he was approached and asked about doing another unit. We had already received the go-ahead to do 3194 and was approached and tasked with coming up with something. The guys in the paint shop had already been suggesting the idea of an EMS unit, and my response was, "Funny thing, I've already been working on that." I was able to show them the concept art on my phone and they absolutely loved it, he said. He entailed that the basis for the unit was an AirMeds helicopter. He said, "I had the most fun with the design for it, and had it been painted, it would have been my favorite. Out of all of the variations with other railroads, nobody had ever done one related to EMS, making it more of a free-for-all, but I tried to get as close to a lifelike helicopter that I could." He noted how he had debated on going with something similar to an ambulance, yet the red and white scheme had already been done with 911 and had wanted more variation amidst other projects. Alongside the EMS unit, another unit had already been in the works as well. This one dedicated to the American Red Cross Association. Harden says, like the EMS unit, this one had never been done before, and the fun part was there was no creative limitations. The idea was that the unit was going to help people and spread awareness. Since it had never been done, I wanted to make it the best it could possibly be. I always tried to design everything in a way to where when people seen it, it was a thought of, yeah, that guy absolutely nailed it. They were intended to be 2 separate units, he said. The EMS unit's design had already been done for a while, and Red Cross came along in a manner of, while we're at it, let's try this too. Harden noted how there was no direct form of inspiration, and that he had went to the American Red Cross website and took notes from there, and had begun with more of an abstract concept. Another interesting note for the time was, as shown in the concept art, the idea of doing the Red Cross unit on one of the Mack rebuilds. Harden said, at the time, CSX was really starting to step into the EMD rebuilds, and so I experimented with the idea of doing this one on a Mack. As much as I like the first generation wide cab EMDs, I like the ES44AHs, as you've seen more of them in the coalfields where I grew up. The E&Ds at the time were either in storage, getting rebuilt, or were trailing only, and the performance rating on the 3000 and 3100 series was far better. I wanted the designs to be on units that wouldn't burn up, and when it came to rubber meeting the road, you could bank on those 3000 series GEVOs being around for a while. Hardin noted that he already had the approval for the EMS unit, and progress was as far as the Huntington shops already having a locomotive inside and ready for sandblasting and painting. Along with the beginning process on the EMS unit, the Red Cross unit was raring and ready to take its place upon completion. So in that case, why did we never see these 4th and 5th additions to the Pride and Service series? Or even more units beyond that? Hardin gives us the answer. He said, around that time, a sudden shift in management change and power left the projects in the can. I ran into the issue of losing a lot of contacts, and a lot of things that was deemed unnecessary in their assets was cut. He noted of the feeling of sadness following the series cancellations, but also expressed how thankful he was for the opportunity to do the 3 units that were produced. He expressed his gratitude toward Mr. Eric Hendrickson, as well as the Huntington crew, also giving thanks to God for the opportunity. He ended with a powerful quote that reads, "If you get everything you want all the time, we get spoiled. What we think is best for us is not what God knows is best for us. It's not about luck, but more so what God has planned for you." It was hard to accept in the moment, but looking back, God knew what he was doing. Hardin also said, as far as Pride and Service goes, unless by some miracle they reach out, something of that scale getting started again is slim. Which, they have their own team and such now doing the heritage units and all that, so they don't have much need for a guy like me. Though it is unfortunate that we never got to see these 2 units, Hardin is still designing locomotives today. I still design schemes for Class 2 and Class 3 railroads, and have designed 6 or 7 of them for regional rail over the past year. Some of those are already out as well, such as on the Florida Central and Carolina coast. I cannot thank Mr. Hardin enough for his collaboration over the 4 episodes pertaining to the Pride and Service series, and I sincerely hope you have enjoyed them as much as I have, both interviewing Mr. Hardin and putting these episodes together. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Coalfield Chronicles. A very special thank you to Tyler Hardin for the behind-the-scenes look at the creation of these units. If you liked what you see, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss future episodes in the series, and be sure to check out the other episodes on the Pride and Service series. Also be sure to leave your feedback and suggestions in the comments below as well. Until next time, from the Coalfields, this is Railfan Micah Turner. God bless y'all.
Look at them.